We used to shoot after practice, shooting from the outside box, you know? We used to shoot from there, like, there was teams of 2. He was with Suarez, I was with Rakitic. No, I was with Vidal. So we used to shoot, bro, 100 shots, 98 goal.
When Lionel Messi arrived on the scene, many were quick to judge. Because in every generation, across every sport, there are athletes who perform at a level that separates them from everyone else. Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Serena Williams, LeBron James. Football has produced its share of them. But every few decades, one arrives who doesn't just top the list, he breaks it. And Messi's arrival had its fair share of believers and doubters.
Before we even get onto the pitch, it was Messi, Messi. When he's on the pitch, no one goes near him. Like it's mad. It's almost like a radius. Like no one can go near him. It's peak. And if you do, I remember I tried to get near him and I had studs. I slipped.
And yes, he has a rival whose trophies, goals, and records are nearly on par with his. And yet, across the entire football world, there is a rare, almost unanimous agreement that performing feats on the pitch that no one else was capable of, Lionel Messi is not just the best player of the modern era, he is the greatest footballer who ever lived.
When we were getting beat 3-0, and I thought, I'm just going to go and nail him in the middle of the pitch here. just do something in the game, just try and inflict something in the game. And he's just spun me like I wasn't even there. I turned round, he stuck it through my legs, and I think I've slipped at the same time. You can probably Google it, be on follow.
No player has inspired more reflection, more reverence, or more disbelief than Lionel Messi. Footy Greats 10 tells his story through the words of 100 legends who crossed paths with him, unfolding chronologically across every defining chapter of his career.
The little boy from Rosario, Santa Fe.
June 24th, 1987. In the city of Rosario, Argentina, a boy named Lionel Andres Messi is born into a world where football is not a pastime. It is a religion. Every neighborhood has a pitch. Every child has a ball. And the conversation in every kitchen, every bar, every barbershop is always about the game. Messi began speaking that language before most children could form sentences. At the age of 6, he joined his first club, Grandoli, where the coach who first laid eyes on him was someone close to home.
Ahí viene una pelota por el lado de él y le pasa por la derecha. Y la miró pasar y ni se movió. Bueno, después viene otra jugada y viene la pelota y le cae para el lado de la izquierda. Prácticamente le pegan las piernas. Entonces él la acomoda la pelota y sale en diagonal hacia el medio de la cancha gambeteando. Los gambeteó a todo lo que tenía de camino. Bueno, y yo le gritaba, pateala, pateala. Pues no lo golpeen, era muy chiquito. Se venía al medio de la cancha y esperaba que el arquerito contrario patee la pelota. Pateaba la pelota, la paraba un compañero, él se la quitaba y salía gambeteando.
By the time he was 8, he had moved to Newell's Old Boys, one of Rosario's most storied clubs, and a club that counts the great Diego Maradona among its own, a name that Lionel Messi would be inescapably tied to for the rest of his life. It was at Newell's that his talent began to take a shape that was impossible to ignore.
Tanto Maradona como Messi en la actualidad, como Ronaldinho, como Pelé, como el Trinche. Yo siempre digo que ningún técnico le puede enseñar a esos jugadores. Esos son jugadores que han nacido ya con esas cualidades.
Las cualidades que tenía, la lectura de juego y la rapidez mental. Era muy rápido acá. El tipo resolvía ¡tuc! Y estaba mirando para allá. Digo, ¿cómo? ¿Qué tiene? Ojo en la nuca.
But there was a problem, a serious one. Lionel Messi had a growth hormone deficiency, a medical condition that was stunting his physical development, and without expensive treatment, would leave him significantly shorter than his peers. The treatment he needed was expensive, far beyond what his family could afford. Newell's could not fund it. Several other Argentine clubs were approached. None stepped forward. With options exhausted, the Messi family looked abroad, and a name on a scout's report began its journey toward a city 10,000 kilometers away. FC Barcelona, founded in 1899, 100 years of history, of culture, of a city's identity wrapped in a football club. To be signed by Barcelona's youth academy, La Masia, was not simply to join a football team. It was to enter an institution that had been quietly producing some of the finest players the world had ever seen. The man who made the journey to Argentina to watch the boy everyone was whispering about was Carlos Rexach, a former Barcelona player, now a scout, with an eye that the club trusted completely.
Y eliminaba a otros jugadores y metía un gol y bueno, como solo ha hecho este jugador, ¿no? Una habilidad fuera de lo normal y además una gran ventaja, o sea, todo instinto.
Rexach had no doubts. This boy had to come to Barcelona. But when Messi and his family arrived for a trial, the reception was not what they had hoped for. Some of the coaching staff were concerned about his size. He was unusually small, even for his age, because of his condition. The family, sensing hesitation, were ready to pack their bags and go home. What happened next became one of the most famous moments in the history of football administration.
Y entonces, lo típico, viene el lunes con su padre, iba su padre y su padre. No, hoy no hay nadie, viene el martes. Y no, viene el viernes. Y el papá, con lógica, se enfadó un poco, me dijo, oye, ¿sabes qué te digo? Que yo me voy, porque me están toreando un poquito, ¿no? Que sí, que sí, no. Y entonces cuando yo le dije, no, tranquilo, que bajo mi responsabilidad ese chico lo vamos a fichar. Y con prueba de ello, digo, yo le firmo un papel y entonces había un papel, como estuviéramos ahora aquí, le dije algo, tráigame un papel y me trajo una servilleta, y entonces yo le puse que yo como director técnico del Fútbol Club Barcelona me comprometí a firmar a Leo Messi, y lo firmamos.
On a paper napkin, Rexach wrote a commitment. Barcelona would sign Lionel Messi, cover his medical treatment, and provide for his family. It is, without much competition, the most consequential napkin in the history of sport. It later sold at auction for $1 million. Barcelona agreed to fund the growth hormone treatment. Today, Messi stands at 5'5". Without it, he may have been a foot shorter. The family stayed, and the greatest footballer in the history of the game began his journey at La Masia. La Masia, in Catalan, means the farmhouse. It is Barcelona's youth academy, a place where boys from across the world are brought to learn not just how to play football, but how to play Barcelona's football.
Si lo volvemos a repetir, lo es. Él atrae a uno a una velocidad, hace que actúe otro en otra velocidad y atrae un tercero en otra velocidad. Y él es capaz de anticipar el espacio donde no confluyen. Y el tiempo es lo que define nuestra vida. No lo define el espacio donde estamos, sino el tiempo que estamos en ese espacio haciendo algo.
A philosophy built on intelligence, technical precision, and an almost mathematical understanding of space. Among the boys in those corridors, the name Messi stirred like clouds gathering behind distant hills.
And they told us that there is this boy coming from Argentina making a trial, and he'll be with us for a couple of weeks. With him, he had the ball stuck to his feet. He was coming at a speed that is not normal. And then straight away, I fell on the floor. I tried. He did the typical feint that he goes to the right and he goes to the left. I went on the floor. And since that moment, I started to say, hold on a second, this guy could be special.
On October 16th, 2004, aged just 17 years and 3 days, Lionel Messi made his first team debut for FC Barcelona, a substitute appearance in a league game, a glimpse, brief and electric, of what was coming. The player who most enthusiastically welcomed the teenager into the first team was the one man who, at that moment, was considered the finest footballer alive.
I remember watching Messi training. Everybody was talking about him, the new kid, back then. He showed that he was going to have a great future. For me, it was a joy to have played with him and to see the history that he's making.
Ronaldinho didn't just accept Messi, he championed him, helped him settle, gave him confidence, and with what now seems like remarkable selflessness, passed the baton of greatness to a 17-year-old without a moment's hesitation. Before social media, news traveled on the strength of a story worth telling. In the basketball world, it reached a man whose legend spoke for itself.
Barcelona venía a Los Angeles. Ronaldinho fue un amigo mío. Estaba allí hablando con Ronaldinho y Ronaldinho me dice, Kobe, mira, te voy a presentar el juego que va a ser el mejor juego de todos los tiempos. Tú eres el mejor jugador. Él me dice, no, esto aquí va a ser el mejor. Fui Lionel Messi, tenía solamente 17 años.
Él me hizo todo más fácil por la persona que era, ¿no?
I didn't teach him anything. He already knew it all. All I did was try to help him in any way that I could. And it wasn't just me, everybody on the team. I'm very happy that I assisted his first goal, which makes me part of the history of a historic player.
Él es mucho mejor a los 18 que lo que fui yo cuando tenía 18.
¿De lo que dijo?
No lo había visto nunca esto.
¿No lo he visto nunca?
No.
At Barcelona, his stature, speed, and near supernatural agility earned him a nickname that would follow him everywhere, La Pulga Atomica, the atomic flea, the flea no one could catch. By 2006, Lionel Messi was no longer a prospect, he was a player. But Spain was about to find out just how different a player he was. On April 18th, 2007, in a domestic cup semifinal against a team called Getafe, Messi scored one of the greatest solo goals ever.
Encara Messi, 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 encara Messi.
Joaquin Maria Puyal's commentary is now as famous as the goal.
Porque él es capaz de hacer en el terreno de juego aquello que yo no he sido capaz de imaginar ni de prever cuando la acción se está desarrollando. Ustedes los argentinos son muy afortunados de tener un hombre como Messi que ama tanto la camiseta albiceleste.
At the 1986 World Cup, Diego Maradona scored what is considered by many to be the greatest goal ever scored. The comparison was not flattering. It was frightening.
Assistència de Xavi, més capradeta per Messi, 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 immens Messi, encara 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 Messi, gol, 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 gol.
That same year, on March 10th, 2007, Messi scored his first hat trick, 3 goals in a single game, in El Clasico, the largest fixture in the football calendar, FC Barcelona and Real Madrid. 2 clubs from the same country, divided by ideology, politics, culture, and over 100 years of history. Much like the Lakers and the Celtics, it is a rivalry defined by 2 opposing philosophies and 2 of the most fervent fan bases on the planet, one that draws a global audience of 600 million viewers. For scale, the El Clasico is 3 times the size of the Super Bowl. At 19 years old, Messi had scored a hat trick in the biggest game. But in football, there are always more levels to ascend.
Messi, there's still plenty of days. Oh my goodness, Leo Messi has equalized in the last minute.
England occupies a singular place in football's hierarchy. The Premier League is the most watched, most discussed, and most commercially powerful league on earth. Its clubs carry weight that few others in the world can match. And for decades, there existed an unspoken rule. If you wanted to be considered truly world-class, you had to prove it against English opposition. Foreign talent, no matter how celebrated elsewhere, was viewed with a particular skepticism in England. The vehicle for that test, at the highest level, is the UEFA Champions League. Every year, the best-performing clubs from across Europe, England, Spain, Germany, Italy, France, and beyond, are drawn together into a single tournament, the most prestigious club competition in the world. In the 2006 and 2007 Champions League, Barcelona faced Liverpool, one of the most decorated clubs in English football history, and a side built on the kind of physical intensity that had consumed foreign flair players for years. For Liverpool's players, it was their first close encounter with Messi.
He is remarkable. Just his first touch, his movement, how clever the space he finds in the little small clever pockets. He's a one-off for me, and it was just great to be in the same stadium as him. Never mind compete against him.
Messi can do things that we've never seen before, and can also, as I said, actually the assists and running a game from that position. And yes, it's close, and there's always that big debate.
These encounters were the first of many between Messi and English football's finest, but he had only introduced himself. The real audition was still to come. If Liverpool were the opening act, Chelsea were the recurring test. Under a succession of managers, Chelsea had built a reputation as one of the most physically and tactically formidable teams in Europe. They didn't just beat you, they suffocated you. At 18 years old, Messi was unplayable.
I grew up with Maradona. Diego Maradona was my favourite player always, but I think for me Lionel Messi is the best. Not just of this era, but of every era, the best player.
Oh, incredible, honestly, an absolute nightmare to play against, I must say. Thankfully I don't have to play against him every week, but honestly he's got some amazing ability, and the things he can do with the ball, there's only one or two players in the world who can do it. So,
but I think Messi, for his individual ability, when we played him when he was at the top, I mean, you know, you can't get near him when he's at his best, and special player. For me, he's the best of all time.
I think Messi, in terms of just pure magic, just coming from God, just to come and play. I can't see a better footballer.
The main goal is for that ball to get to him. It's for the ball to get to him. It's incredible. Once the ball gets to him, every single thing on every single position, everything just changes. We never defended Messi one-on-one. It's impossible.
What was the plan? Against it. What was Jose's plan when he played Messi?
3 people with him.
Yeah.
It's important. You cannot defend one-on-one with Messi. You are dead. It doesn't matter who you are. You are absolutely gone. It's incredible.
By 2010, Messi had won 2 Champions Leagues and 2 Ballon d'Ors. The Ballon d'Or, French for Golden Ball, is football's equivalent of the MVP award, voted on by journalists and national team coaches from across the world. It is, in the absence of anything more definitive, the closest thing the sport has to an official answer to the question, who is the best player on earth? Messi had won it twice before his 23rd birthday. The football world knew who he was. But in England, there remained a resistance. Arsenal, under their legendary French manager Arsène Wenger, were one of the Premier League's most celebrated sides, known for elegant, technical football in a league that had historically preferred power and pace. On March 31st, 2010, Lionel Messi walked into the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal's home ground in North London, and decimated whatever resistance remained. Barcelona beat Arsenal 4-1 in the Champions League quarterfinal. Messi scored all 4 goals by himself. This was the night English football fully accepted what the rest of the world already knew.
Wondered, as someone who was generally regarded in his generation as the best in the world, and you were for a number of years, and you had to live with that, what can you say about Lionel Messi now?
And out there on the pitch up close, just how good is Messi?
He's a phenomenal player, and he showed that again tonight.
Nick, thanks for talking to us.
No problem.
At the moment, he's far the best player I've ever seen.
He is by far, for me, the number one. He's the one that just is in a different league to anybody else right now.
As a goalkeeper, what is it like when he's coming towards you, when you know he can do virtually anything?
Well, I believe that we lost against a team that is better than us and was the best player in the world.
He can do whatever he wants at any moment, and it's difficult to stop this kind of players.
The difficulty with him is he's not always in the game, you know, but when he's in it, he's really dangerous.
Is he probably the best you've ever faced?
As a player, yeah, definitely. I have a bad memory, but I think he's the best player in the world.
For me, he's the best player in the world, and by a distance.
Between 2008 and 2011, Lionel Messi and Manchester United would meet 4 times in the Champions League, including 2 finals. For United's players and their legendary manager, these were encounters that forced a reckoning named tiki-taka. Tiki-taka is a Spanish term for the style of play that Barcelona had perfected under their manager Pep Guardiola. It is, at its simplest, football played at speed through short, rapid passes, the ball moving so quickly between players that the opposition can rarely get close enough to take it. Rooted in a philosophy pioneered by the great Johan Cruyff, a man who had woven his ideas of beautiful, possession-based football into La Masia's DNA decades earlier.
Tiki-taka, that's something like this. That's how he puts the ball, but as quick as possible.
Pep Guardiola learned it as a player. Xavi and Iniesta learned it as children in the academy. Messi, who understood space instinctively, was beyond anything the system had dared to imagine. The 1990s Chicago Bulls, a team so systematically complete, so suffocating in their execution, that opponents didn't just lose, they lost their sense of what the game was supposed to look like. Barcelona under Guardiola had that quality. They didn't just beat teams, they made teams question everything they knew. Sir Alex Ferguson, considered by most to be the greatest manager the game has ever produced, watched Barcelona dismantle his team and admitted, with characteristic directness, that he had no answer for it.
Alex, if the owners of Man United gave you a blank check over the summer and allowed you to bring in any one, just one, of Barcelona's team from tonight, who would you sign?
That's one of the most stupid questions I've ever heard in my life. He's someone I think there's no individual that can deal with him. It's a team effort. You've got to have 2 and 3 players around to stop him. Peter, do you remember when we stood in the middle of the pitch and looked at each other just to say, like, I've not touched no one. I think you might have said it to me. I said, I've not even got near no one.
No. And actually, he's inviting you to go out of your zone so that you can rethink the zone so that wingers, they can run
space behind.
Oh my gosh. And you always that question in your mind as a defender, should I go or stay?
So the one that everyone will ask about was Messi.
Yeah.
How I never played against Messi.
What you were lucky.
I was very lucky. I wasn't going anywhere near him and stayed. Although knowing my luck, the manager would have said, "Go man, mark him, mark him, run off him." He's past it.
And with some players, you'd be able to read them when you know where they're going.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can take it off them. With him, didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
I had absolutely no idea what I was going to do. I don't know if he was going to go to the left. I didn't know he was going to go to the right. I don't know if he was going to go through my legs. He could have done absolutely anything. You just had to guess.
And wherever Ronaldo's a killer. And people think because I've said Messi is better than Ronaldo, I don't like him or I speak down on him.
You said you preferred the way Messi played.
Yeah, and that's it. I just like the little flair about Messi.
This guy's the best player in the world at the moment. There is no doubt about that. And I think we're always nervous about calling people who are currently watching, who are young at 23, to say he's the best player ever, but we shouldn't be. We should admit what we're seeing in front of our eyes. This is a special talent who maybe is the best player that's ever been seen.
And this is the guy, I forget the name, some player that they had there, Messi.
Jose Mourinho did not stumble into football. He clawed his way in. Born in Portugal, he began his career not as a player, he was not good enough, but as a translator, a sideman, someone who carried other men's bags and watched other men receive the applause. He studied the game from the outside, obsessively, until he understood it better than almost anyone on the inside. Then, with the patience of a man who had been kept waiting too long, he started winning.
It's McCarthy. It's a good save by Howard. It's been turned in by Costinha. The substitute is in and seals the success for Porto.
E em condições normais vamos ser campeões. Em condições anormais também vamos ser campeões. I'm European champion, so I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
But here's Joe Cole. Brilliant. Chelsea start the party now. And Lampard can secure the championship here. Round the keeper into the back of the net. Who can deny?
But there is a detail in Mourinho's story that changes the texture of everything that follows. Before he was a manager, Mourinho worked at Barcelona. He was a coach's assistant, walking the corridors of the club, learning the game inside the very same academy that had produced Lionel Messi. He knew La Masia from the inside. He knew what Barcelona valued, how they thought, what they believed football should look like. And when Barcelona needed a new head coach, Mourinho put his name forward. They gave the job to Pep Guardiola instead. Mourinho left, built his empire elsewhere, and when Inter Milan met Barcelona in the 2010 Champions League semi-final, he arrived at Camp Nou with a plan. Not to outplay Barcelona, not to outpossess them, not to try and match Messi's genius with genius of his own, to suffocate it.
He cannot play alone when he come in between the lines. But basically everything was around not let Messi play, like a jail to Messi, because in the end we didn't play man to man, but everybody was responsible for any position that Messi could go.
Every player behind the ball, every passing lane closed, every run tracked, a Portuguese term that Mourinho himself made famous and that describes exactly what it looks like. A team that retreats so deep and so deliberately that they might as well have parked the team bus in front of their own goal. It's not pretty football. That is rather the point. You cannot play pretty football against a bus.
Let them have the ball, but not creating many chances for us.
Inter defeated Barcelona across two legs. Mourinho made his feelings known. He had done what almost no one had managed. He had beaten Messi by making the game uglier than Messi could fix. The 2010 Champions League final was to be held at the Santiago Bernabeu, the home ground of Real Madrid, Barcelona's fiercest rivals. Inter's victory had spared Madrid the humiliation of hosting a final won by their greatest enemy. They called. Mourinho answered. He passed the audition. He had got the part. To understand what Messi was like in his peak years, it is crucial to hear from the people who shared a dressing room with him, who trained alongside him every day, who saw not the public performance, but the private reality of what it meant to be the greatest.
You're in training, he gets fouled, right? So they don't call the foul on him. You know how it goes, no foul, I won't say what I want,
Yeah, we get it.
Whatever. Next thing you know, he will go and ask the keeper to give him the ball and run past everyone and score. Then you will get the ball to try to play again. He will take it from you, or wherever you are, and score again. And until he gets a bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
I think Messi is one of a kind. What he's doing, I don't know if we will see another player do the things that he does, because he has his way of playing, the style, and to become that player, I don't think it's possible. That's why I say it's one of a kind. I had the luck that I saw him every day, and I saw what he was doing every day. So, I mean, I said it before, it's like playing PlayStation. You give the ball to the guy and you start to go through every player.
Cuando lo ves entrenar por primera vez, a Leo, la primera vez que lo vi entrenar, y ya me habían avisado desde el fútbol base que venía un argentino que era increíble. Y la primera vez que subió al primer equipo ya lo ves diferente. Ves una persona que dribla, que lo hace muy fácil, que ve el juego, que tiene una facilidad para el uno contra uno, que tiene personalidad, que tiene descaro, que tiene buen tiro. Claro, Leo domina todas las facetas del juego y las domina a la perfección.
Evidentemente que Cristiano es y será uno de los mejores jugadores de la historia, evidentemente, eso nadie lo discute. Pero para mí Leo es diferente a todo.
You play with Messi. He's a phenomenal player, but not many players play with Messi and Cristiano.
Messi's got, I always said in Spanish, in English is like, for me Messi is like, is not human, and Cristiano is the best of the human, you know what I mean?
Claro que es Messi, porque es el número uno, es lo más grande de todos, y creo que todos los clubes, todos los jugadores le encantan, y bueno, todos querían jugar con él.
Beyond the famous tiki-taka side, Barcelona spawned another dynasty, the MSN. Messi, Suarez, Neymar was the most devastating attacking trio in the history of club football. In their first full season together, they scored 122 goals between them. That same season, Barcelona won the treble, the domestic league, the domestic cup, and the Champions League, a feat achieved by only a handful of clubs in the entire history of the sport. That Barcelona side did it playing some of the most fluid, instinctive, frankly joyful football the game has ever produced.
No, ni en mi época ni en anteriores. Yo siempre he declarado que el mejor jugador, ya no solo de la historia actual, sino de de la historia desde que yo tengo noción del fútbol y de anteriores jugadores que he visto, sin ninguna duda es Leo Messi. Cristiano Ronaldo sí que es un jugador, evidentemente, un top, un número uno, pero futbolísticamente creo que está por debajo de Leo.
Playing for Bayern Munich against Barcelona in the 2015 Champions League semi-final, Boateng found himself facing Messi one-on-one. Messi is one of two players to have 20 goals and 20 assists in a single season. The other is Thierry Henry.
For the team. This is what I'm saying.
But even at the summit, the questions were forming. In the first leg of the 2019 semi-final against Liverpool, he scored twice. 1 week later, at Anfield, Liverpool produced one of the greatest comebacks in the history of the competition. Messi did not score. He did not inspire a response. For his critics, a narrative was forming. A player who was lacking something.
Toughest player I rate you've played against anywhere, anytime.
Messi.
Who's the best player that you've come up against directly, you know?
Against, it has to be Messi for me. Arguably the best player in the history of football.
We couldn't defend the free kick. What a strike.
For me, the best player that's ever played the game.
The success at Barcelona was, for Real Madrid, an existential crisis. The most powerful club in world football was watching their greatest rival not just win, but win in a way that made every other team in Europe look ordinary. Something had to change. And in their hour of desperation, they sailed through the Strait of Messina to find the one man who had already proven that he could stop Barcelona. José Mourinho.
Fútbol. Soy entrenador de fútbol y me gustan los retos más importantes.
Under Mourinho, Real Madrid would disrupt Barcelona's metronomic beauty. But that was not Mourinho's only weapon. His other weapon was named Cristiano Ronaldo. The rivalry between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo is unlike anything sport has produced. Unlike Maradona and Pelé, two of the greatest players were playing in the same time period. From 2008 to 2019, a period of 11 years. The Ballon d'Or, football's annual MVP award, was won by one of these two men every single time. The sport had simply produced two people who were operating at a level that made everyone else irrelevant to the conversation.
Amazing. Player is magic top. As a person, we shared the stage 16 years. Imagine, 16 years. We
at the highest level.
We share. So I have great relationship with him. I'm not friend of him in terms of, when I mean friend, is the guy who is with you in your house, who speak on the phone. No, but he's like a teammate. He's a guy that I really respect the way he always speak about me.
Barcelona versus Real Madrid was a proxy war between two philosophies of the game. Barcelona's fluid, passing-based tiki-taka against Madrid's direct, physical, relentless power. Much like the Celtics and the Lakers in the 1980s.
Veas antes de los demás. El 10 tiene que hacer eso. Yo era un segundo. O tú era 3 antes. 3 segundos antes de los demás. Eu 1.
Nos jogos de lá, ou era Cristiano e Messi, né? Tipo assim, ou um jogo o Messi arrebentava, outro jogo o Cristiano arrebentava. Tipo assim, ficava nessa, ele ficava esperando ali, ver o que enrola.
Hablar de fútbol de Messi, porque para mí es un jugador extraordinario.
Por ejemplo, yo he jugado muchas veces contra Messi. Yo solo no consigo parar. Esos jugadores...
Aunque le paraste alguna vez, ¿eh?
Pero solo no era imposible, Tomás. Solo era imposible. Tenía ayuda de Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, Sergio Ramos. Solo yo era imposible conseguir. Era imposible, ¿no? Esos jugadores es imparable.
In the 2010 and 2011 season alone, Barcelona and Real Madrid played each other 4 times in the space of 18 days, across 3 different competitions. A game in La Liga, the top division of Spanish football, a game in the Copa del Rey, Spain's national cup tournament, and 2 legs of a Champions League semi-final. 4 games, 18 days. Conservative estimates place the combined viewership at roughly 2 billion worldwide. It remains one of the most concentrated periods of elite club competition the sport has ever produced.
For the goals and the awards, did Messi ever pay much attention to what Ronaldo was doing? Like, did he ever run off the pitch after the game? Has Ronaldo scored?
No, it wasn't that type of guy.
This rivalry spawned some of the defining images in the history of the sport. One image above all others stands apart. Were the critics finally getting to the great one?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just remind you of those teams.
¿Tú conoces a Messi personalmente? Sí, pero es buena persona. Yo conozco que es buena persona, pero no tiene personalidad. No tiene mucha personalidad como para ser líder. Entiendo. Juega bien más, como teníamos mucho en nuestra época. Exacto, muchísimos jugadores como él, muchísimos.
Many criticized Messi's ability to fight, that he lacked personality, something that his great rival Cristiano did not suffer from.
Are you the best footballer in the world right now?
I think so, yes. In my mind, I'm always the best. I don't care what the people are thinking, what they say. In my mind, not just this year, but always, I'm always the best.
Pero decir que Cristiano no es completo es mentira. Soy el más completo.
¿Eres el mejor jugador de la historia?
Yo creo que sí. Sinceramente, yo no vi nadie mejor que yo.
If a player is to succeed at the highest level, there has to be a kind of confidence that, to the naked eye, could be perceived as arrogance.
Well, no, who's the best player in the world ever?
For me, the best player in the world ever, Diego Maradona.
Me. As I say many times, in my opinion, I'm the best because I think we have to think like that, not just in my job, but you have to think in your job you are the best reporter. And I'm thinking like that. If I'm not thinking like that, I'm not going to be stronger than I think I am.
Ali called himself the greatest, and Jordan, he took it personally.
Estás ahora el mejor jugador de la historia después de ese premio.
Bueno, como dije siempre, no sé si soy el mejor de historia o no, y tampoco es algo que me lo pregunte o me interese, entre comillas, ¿no?
His supporters said he let his feet do the talking. His critics said that wasn't enough.
Cara, esse que é o problema, ele não fala, velho.
Yeah, very quiet. He's very quiet. He only speaks with his feet on the field.
The first time I did referee Messi was one of the first times was Paris Saint-Germain away, but I had to caution him. And I correctly cautioned him, he didn't say anything to us.
Vocês já viram os jogos dele, né? Ele fica quietinho e tal, tipo, e a gente sempre falava lá, quando tu deixa ele do jeito que tá, porque se tu for dar uma porrada, for fazer, aí tu vai atiçar o cara, aí começa. Tipo, é bem difícil.
He's very quiet. He chooses who to talk to. Very selective.
I remember the first time I refereed him. He was playing for Barcelona in Paris, and I was trying to watch the ball, and it was just ridiculous. The movement, what he used to do with the ball was incredible. Where Ronaldo was a different type of player, he probably drove the team more on. Where Messi was quite individually brilliant.
Querer hacer caudillo a un hombre que va 20 veces al baño antes del partido.
There was also the question of how he played. Messi was frequently seen walking, standing still while play moved around him, disengaged, drifting.
He's watching now, he's walking. He's not out of the game, he's involved, he's moving his head. Right, left, right. And he knows exactly what's going to happen.
The way he turns his head before receiving a pass, it's like 16 times or something.
But his head is always like this. He's not running, but he's always watching what happened. After 5-10 minutes, he have the map in his eyes and his brain.
Critics called it laziness, disinterested, a lack of the fire that the very greatest players carry in their chest.
I would tell everybody, as long as you are not Lionel Messi, you have to defend. Lionel is the only one, wait until we have the ball, give it to you, and now do what you want. Everybody else has to defend.
It's not going to, Ronaldo and Messi may be similar, and they're not going to do much tracking back, they're not going to do much defensive work. You actually realise as a players are going, we need to, as a 10 players, we need to work a little bit harder because we're not getting much from him. But when we give him the ball, he's going to give us so much more, and we need to all put a little bit more of a shift into to enable our best player to go and perform.
And then there was the Argentina question. Messi's extraordinary achievements at Barcelona felt like another world once he pulled on the famous blue and white of the Albiceleste. His great rival, Cristiano Ronaldo, had performed at the same elite level for club and country, across different teams, in different leagues, in different systems, winning silverware for his country. Messi had not. And in a sport where national identity runs as deep as any loyalty a person can feel, that distinction mattered enormously. For all his brilliance in the regular season, for all his individual dominance, Messi's legacy hinged on one trophy. Just like Jordan's missing ring. Until he won the World Cup, the conversation could never be closed. To the rest of the world, Messi was already greater than Maradona. But in Argentina, the verdict required one thing and one thing only, the World Cup. Everything else was a footnote.
El fútbol le ha dado muchísimo. Él le ha dado también muchísimo al fútbol. Y una copa del mundo no, para mí no cambia nada.
Acá en la Argentina tienen la costumbre de comparar Maradona y Messi. Y Maradona es el ballet, la cadencia, el movimiento. Y Messi la velocidad con precisión, es la actualidad. Todo rápido. Esta nota tiene que salir bien, porque la tiene que mirar mucha gente. Eso es Messi.
If you lose, nothing happens. In Argentina, it's not just a game. If you lose, maybe you go at home and
even your parents,
family, your brother.
The same year that Ronaldo won the European Championship for Portugal, Messi missed a penalty in a Copa America final shootout. Chile won, and in the aftermath, he briefly walked away.
Fans waited at the Ezeiza airport, many holding signs begging star Lionel Messi with the hope he will reconsider his decision.
You go to the supermarket and the guy that worked there start to talk about the game, so never stop.
Que ya está, se terminó para mí la selección. Ya, como dije recién, son 4 finales, no es para mí. Lamentablemente lo busqué, era lo que más deseaba. No se me dio, pero creo que ya está.
None of this was a conspiracy. The critics had proof.
The stories, frankly, always are human stories, frankly, always about one thing, aren't they? Death.
You know, Lionel Messi has won major international titles with Argentina. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. He's lost every big game he's ever played for Argentina.
I've already said, in my opinion, the World Cup is the highest level of the game.
Some people, they will change their mind if Messi wins the World Cup.
We spoke one time in the shower because he asked me if it's difficult to score in Italy because Ronaldo at that time was in Italy. And he asked me like, would I score a lot of goals? I said, you score wherever you want, you know, you're Messi.
Pero bueno, hoy me toca despedirme de esto. Como dije antes, fueron muchísimos años, toda mi vida acá. Llegué siendo muy chiquito, con 13 años. Después de 21 años, me voy con mi mujer, con 3 catalanes argentinos. No puedo estar más orgulloso de todo lo que hice y viví en esta ciudad, la cual no tengo duda que...
In August 2021, the unthinkable happened. Lionel Messi, left FC Barcelona 21 years after that napkin in a restaurant. The club he had built his life around, the club that had built its identity around him, was forced by financial constraints to let their greatest ever player walk away. He signed for Paris Saint-Germain, the French club backed by Qatari investment, and assembled for exactly this kind of moment. At PSG, he would share a dressing room with Kylian Mbappe, the same player who 3 years earlier had scored twice against Argentina at the 2018 World Cup and sent Messi home.
T'as appris quoi de lui?
Bah, t'apprends tout. Il fait tout bien. T'apprends tout d'un gars comme ça.
He also reunited with his old friend Neymar, but the PSG years were not Messi's finest. Something was missing. The football world began to ask, quietly, whether Messi had only ever been what he was because of the system around him, whether Xavi and Iniesta and the architecture of La Masia had been as responsible as the man himself. It was the most uncomfortable version of the question his critics had always asked. Regardless, during Messi's blue period, he still managed to score 32 goals and provide 34 assists in 75 games, winning 3 trophies in the process. Messi had set a standard even too high for himself. He was his only competition. For his fans, there were no more questions to answer. Messi had earned it, but a prophet is without honor in his own home.
¿Messi o Maradona?
Maradona. Yo amamos mucho Maradona.
¿Messi o Maradona?
Maradona. Toda la vida.
¿Messi o Maradona?
Maradona.
¿Messi o Maradona?
Messi.
¿Messi o Maradona?
El Diego, siempre. Maradona es más grande.
¿Messi o Maradona?
Maradona.
¿Messi o Maradona?
Riquelme.
¿Messi o Maradona?
Messi toda la vida. Es un crack.
¿Messi o Maradona?
Claramente, Juan Román Riquelme.
Regardless of what he does in the Barcelona shirt, nothing he's done for Argentina, I think puts him in the same discussion with those three when it comes to talking about the World Cup and appearances at the World Cup.
Messi, the second he steps on a field without that core, is average.
Qatar, 2022. Lionel Messi's 5th and what many assumed would be his final World Cup. At 35 years old, it would certainly be the last one while still in good physical condition. Even La Pulga can't outrun Father Time. Argentina's opening game ended in a shock 2-1 defeat to Saudi Arabia. The same story, the same heartbreak.
Superpower nation, and I felt there might be some sort of some kind of fate around Messi in the World Cup, but looking at them today, they have got flaws in the team, and I don't think you could say they're on the same par with Brazil.
I think Messi's the sort of player you can't just think to yourself, oh, Argentina are out. He's got it in him to turn it on against Mexico. Go and drag his team to a win, get something against Poland as well. And you lost your first game, yes, but you still got a chance. It's in your hands to win the next 2 games and go through.
But Lionel Messi was just walking around and he didn't contribute a lot today. He lost the ball as well at the goal. Need to be said, I think that Messi can get him back in it.
Which was my complaint around Argentina for so many years. For all that talent, everybody just seemed to down tools and hope that Lionel Messi would produce some magic.
After 6 years of being told that he was incapable of winning when it mattered most, he finally won the 1991 championship with the Bulls. Michael Jordan had silenced them forever. Could Messi do the same? Over the next 3 weeks, Messi led, he fought, he dragged the ball and the nation through every round.
How tough was that for him, do you think? I think it was tough. I think he never shows it.
I'm not gonna choose. What time is the match actually?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. Okay, cool. So I can get up and watch it. I just want to see a great match like the rest of the world. Besides who's ever rooting for France or Argentina. So we will see. I mean, it's going to be a great one, and look forward to seeing 2 of the greatest that ever played that sport go at it. So it'll be fun.
And the fire disappears into the mild Doha evening. He's got the ground, he's got a penalty! A heartbeat. And Messi! Alvarez, here's McAllister. Di Maria is the spare man. And how Di Maria! Glorious goal! Argentine gold!
But football, as it always does, demanded more than a coronation.
And Colin Moani has got into the box, he's got a penalty! Obliged! Mbappe! Thuram! Mbappe! Oh wow!
Bueno, Leo, solamente decirte que te quiero mucho, que la estás rompiendo, que deja que los demás hablen, que vas a ser el mejor de toda la historia. Eso lo vamos a decidir nosotros cuando termines la carrera. Hoy divertite, hoy seguí haciendo lo que estás haciendo, y que seas feliz con tu familia. Te quiero mucho, Leo.
At the end of extra time, the match went to a penalty shootout. Argentina's keeper, Emiliano Martinez, was Messi's final wish.
I said, Leo, just stop and go. He will move.
Messi with such immaculate poise. Coleman.
If I serve the first pen, next one has to go down the middle.
Why?
The pressure's on the other goalie. So he's gonna dive.
Yes.
We don't want to look stupid in a World Cup final standing down the middle.
Romania's dragged it wide. Montiel. Argentina, champions of the world. The little boy from Rosario, Santa Fe, has just pitched up in heaven.
For the first time in his career, there was nothing left to prove.
Leo es arte. El otro es un animal competitivo, es un terrible goleador, pero el 10 es arte. No.
In 2023, Lionel Messi chose not to return to Europe. He signed for Inter Miami, a Major League Soccer club in Florida, co-owned by David Beckham, playing in a league that is still, by global standards, finding its footing. For a player of Messi's status, the move was a statement, not of ambition, of something rarer. Peace.
I just was able to bring the best player to ever play the game to this city, and it's something we're very proud of.
The decision that they made to take the league much further by bringing top talent and the best ever football player in this planet obviously is going to put the league in the spotlight, and I think it was a very clever move and something really, really good, not only for the league but everybody that is connected to it.
I call this Leo Messi. That's what I call this. You know what I'm saying?
Harrison is like LeBron Jordan, but for you, who do you think would be the better player, Cristiano or Messi?
I'm a Dade County hustler.
Yes, sir.
Anything Dade County better than anything from anywhere else. So salute to Ronaldo, but I'm a rock with Messi.
In his first game, in the 94th minute, he struck a free kick into the top corner to win the match.
Messi!
The world was reminded again of something it should never have needed reminding. Wherever Messi goes, the game follows.
Shout out to Leo Messi. Shout out to the whole team, you know what I'm saying? You know, when Leo came down, they invited me out. You know, they set the stadium up right over here in Broward. I went over there. I ain't know what the fuck was going on, boy. That's a different kind of energy.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of tremble. That shake, those roars, I've never felt that nowhere else like soccer.
The ultimate measure of a legend is not what their peers say. It is what the next generation says. The players who grew up watching them, who chose their number and put their poster on the wall.
Ronaldo or Messi?
Messi for me.
Should we get your standard answer, or should we try to put spin on the ball?
No, you can.
So, do you ever hear the expression "game respects game"?
Bueno, yo creo que yo le respeto al final por lo que ha sido, por lo que es para el fútbol y si nos encontramos algún día en algún campo de fútbol, pues habrá ese respeto mutuo al final porque somos jugadores y porque él para mí es el mejor de la historia y él también sabe que soy un buen jugador y que le respeto, entonces.
And why?
For sure. I just think like, you know, he has the good mix of like numbers and like the watch factor as well. You can just watch him and you just think like, how does he do that? Like,
I've said it a lot of times, for me Messi is the best player ever, or at least the best player I've seen, with quite a difference to others. He's unique and He's just the best I've seen.
Every time I watch him, he does something that I just think, you can't be human. So I think I'd say, Messi.
Do you know what? Obviously, it's such a hard question because obviously what him and Ronaldo have done is like a freak of nature. No one will ever do that ever again. But I just feel like Messi, what he does with a football, he's just special, and I don't think we'll ever see a player like him ever again.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Media rivalry.
It's different style. To me, the last 15 years, no doubt, Messi is the best player.
I don't understand.
They don't play the same position.
Atacante pela esquerda para atacante centralizado, que não é uma coisa fácil.
So I'm asking you, for you.
For me, you can compare Messi with Maradona and Abedi Pele and those things. Those players. You can't compare Cristiano and
Messi and Abedi Pele.
That is what. But for me, Messi is a gifted one. He can stay for 2 months and play. Ronaldo depends on his fitness to play.
Okay.
Com certeza ele está entre os melhores da história do futebol. Agora, o melhor, eu não concordo, mas respeito a opinião dele. Com certeza ele está entre os melhores da história, né? Eu diria top 10 fácil.
Of course, Maradona when he played for Napoli, Ronaldo when he played for Inter, Ronaldo on the Brazilian guy. And I didn't play against Messi because he was injured and thanks God he was injured.
And that is why I respect Ronaldo for that. He got to where he had with hard work and dedication. That is where, but when it comes to Messi is
my opinion is never probably the best in the world. We had a lot of we had the chance to show Maradona for many years in Italy. I think that Messi is like him, one of the best player ever.
And then he got to the centre circle, still juggling it, and then he went bang, and he whacked it as high as he possibly could, and he waited, and it came down, and he went bang, and he did it again, and he did it 13 times, and the most he ever did was walk 3 paces to it. And all of us were sitting there going, oh my God, that's
like I was then.
That's it. That's impossible.
It is.
I never thought in my lifetime that I would see anyone come remotely close to Diego in terms of ability with a football.
So Messi is the gifted one, Ronaldo is the fit one.
Ronaldo is a complete player. Yes, complete. He's got everything.
Okay.
But I will still prefer Messi.
I think when you have the opportunity to make a great compliment to Messi, I think that it's right. It's right to recognize a super top player. I'm very pleased to have the opportunity at the end of the game to give him my compliment. Because I repeat, we are talking about an extraordinary player, the best in the world.
Pick it up. I don't even want to touch it.
Be careful. It's heavy.
I won the Ballon d'Or, bro. Damn. So this is what it feels like. Damn.
Cristiano and Messi, they have much more than me, but I have 2 of this.
No, Ronaldo has much more, not Messi.
Y cuando expresaba lo de Messi y lo de Ronaldo, no hablaba desde quién es el mejor del mundo, sino si uno tendría dinero para comprar un futbolista en un equipo normal, posiblemente Ronaldo encajaría mejor.
Okay. You love more Cristiano than Messi.
Sim, eu amo Ronaldo muito, mano.
Okay.
Ronaldo, because you know Ronaldo's the GOAT. You're the GOAT too.
You don't like Messi?
No, I don't like Messi, bro.
Why?
Because he's short and he's bad and he's trash, bro. Ronaldo's better. Come on, bro. You know Cristiano Ronaldo's better.
Ahora, en un equipo importantísimo, Messi seguramente rodeado es mejor que Ronaldo.
Bro.
He's Ronaldo dad. He's Ronaldo.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You're the dad of Ronaldo. That's your son. You gotta support your son, Cristiano Ronaldo.
I love them both.
Yo, you always give. I love them both. Well, like, bro, you know.
For me, Messi, Maradona are in the same level.
Number 3, Ronaldinho. Number 2, Lionel Messi.
Number 1, your favorite one.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
I go prime Messi.
Para ti, ¿cuál es el mejor jugador de fútbol de todos los tiempos, de toda tu vida?
No tengo duda.
¿Quién?
Messi. Porque al final, yo siempre lo digo, al final Cristiano ha conseguido equipararse a Messi en muchas cosas, quizás sin un talento innato como el que sí que ha tenido Leo, ¿no? Pero los que realmente jugamos contra ellos te das cuenta enseguida de la diferencia. Cristiano, por ejemplo, lo que no querías que hiciera es que pisara el área. O sea, si pisaba el área era letal, de verdad. Pero Messi era en todos lados del campo. O sea, él le llegaba el balón y decía, es peligro. Algo va a pasar, no sé qué va a pasar, algo va a pasar. Entonces yo recuerdo cuando empezaba a jugar contra él, que era un pipiolín, 17, 18 años, digo, voy a quitarle el balón. Que va, o sea, es que te hacía como las vaquillas, ¿sabes? Derecha, izquierda, da igual. Yo la sensación que tenía es que algo malo iba a pasar.
Algo malo iba a pasar.
Algo malo iba a pasar.
When we play him, you notice like what a player he is. There's not many situations where you come off the pitch and you go, we talk like children, like how? I know it's not, we're not in awe of him, but you just got to be honest. Because you just see the guy wandering around, totally oblivious to the game sometimes, and then all of a sudden, bang, just, and he's creating something or he's scoring.
Joe Hart was here a moment ago and he said it was a pleasure to play against you and that he enjoyed it. What do you think about him? How was it to play against such a great keeper?
He truly played a great match. He was really saving every ball. He even saved some balls with his chest. He's really top notch.
Messi, pero con mucha diferencia respecto a Cristiano. O sea, siempre se ha hablado ahora mismo últimamente de los dos, de Messi y Cristiano, pero Messi lleva el balón en el pie, muy rápido, tiene tiro. No sé, la verdad es que ahora mismo yo me quedo con Messi antes que Cristiano Ronaldo.
Messi or Ronaldo? Cristiano.
You cannot compare them. Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo? Who would you pick? Both. How would you compare them?
So you cannot compare, are totally different. But one player on the right, one on the left. Perfect. Me in the middle.
Dream team.
Instead of comparing them, what you have to do is admire them. You have to admire them for what they're doing, what they've been doing, because they've been entertaining us for the past 10, 15 years. And they are great players and great workers, let me tell you. The thing you see for 90 minutes on the screen is nothing compared to the work that they're doing every day in training to give you that game. So both of them. No other than Mr. Lionel Messi. I'm a Messi fan. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm a Messi fan. I've idolized him ever since I was a kid watching football for the first time. You know, he's the guy that caught my eye playing this game that I love. Just watch him play and you'll see why.
Per me nel calcio ci sono stati tre geni. Pelé, Maradona e Messi.
Ronaldo was then, when you are losing, he had the balls to call the balls no matter what, try to win, shoot from everywhere in order to lead the team to win. And it's not easy to do it for a lot of players. I love to play with him because working with him and look at him every day with little details is very nice. I was 35 and he was 34, something, just 6 months between us. And we weren't obviously at our prime, but it was very funny to play with him and look how much big is his personality. We cannot say for me it's better Messi or Cristiano, but if I have to pick one for a final, Cristiano or
Cristiano or Messi?
I love to play with Cristiano, and I saw when the game is more difficult, he raises his level of performance.
Porque lo de Cristiano es trabajar y lo del otro es calidad pura, es lo que Dios le dio. No se esfuerza por nada. No tiene que hacer nada para poder ser el mejor.
To mark Messi was, on his day, he was too good for me.
I said to my son, why are you laughing? Did you see what I did to him? They just put the video of Messi. They don't put my video.
Obviously, seen him on the flight, but never thought more of that. And then I see him in practice. And I asked Giovanni, who's that?
It's just kid, yeah.
That's Messi. He's going to train with us.
Do you remember the moment that you realised actually how good he was as a footballer?
Champions League 2009. And he scored the last goal, boy. Actually was
between Ferdinand and Vidic. It was massive, strong, good in the air. And Messi scored a goal with the head as well, And it was Van der Sar on the goal. And it was incredible.
Some of the most vivid descriptions of Messi have come not from the players who faced him, but from the people paid to find words for the indescribable. The men in the commentary booth, watching the same thing as everyone else, trying to do what language rarely manages: keep up.
Now, people think that it's because I'm an admirer of Messi. No, you're wrong. I'm an admirer of genius in football. And this man just demonstrates year after year, whether Xavi's there or not, whether Iniesta's there or not, whether Piqué's there or not, he can carry the team. The greatest football player in the scope of what a footballer is that I have ever seen in my life.
But if you ask me who I would want to watch play, if I had to watch them, one or the other, every day of my life, I'd pick Messi.
Why?
Because he appears to do what is impossible.
But when you see him put in that sort of show, it's cliche, but it's almost like a privilege, isn't it? To be around, to be able to watch that.
Well, he looks at the game differently than the rest of us. He sees things that we don't see or wouldn't even consider, one, if it's possible, and even attempting it.
Yeah.
I mean, his last goal is...
How difficult is that?
Oh dear. I mean, is there anybody else that's ever played the game could do that so well? I'm not quite sure.
I don't think there's been anybody better than Messi. Going back, Maradona and Pele, I just don't. I think he is, in my opinion, the best that's ever been. He's just incredible.
It's not the statistics. It's definitely not the statistics. And that's what we have to really, truly realise. That statistics are signposts for measuring achievements, absolutely. And we see great players achieve great statistics. And then there's the art of football, where there's something that you cannot put into it statistically. We saw it on the breathtaking brilliance of Pelé and Maradona and Riquelme and George Best and players like this, and you go, what is that? How do you measure the human heart? Through the eyes. What do you take from that sort of performance and again elaborate it over seasons, year in, year out, for club, for country? He is the greatest in my eyes that I've ever seen.
Beautifully said.
Ronaldo number 1, Messi my number 2.
John Bonds.
Messi number 1.
Sami Kufon.
There's no one like Messi.
I'm going to go Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that also he's done it at more than one club.
In the summer of 2026, the World Cup comes to the United States, Canada, and Mexico. For the first time, the tournament will be hosted across 3 nations, 16 cities, 64 matches, and the largest stage the game has ever constructed. For most of the players on that stage, it will be one tournament among many, a chapter in a career still being written. For a handful, it will be the last chapter. Lionel Messi will be 38 years old. Cristiano Ronaldo, his great rival, the man with whom he shared a stage for 2 decades, will be 41. Luka Modric will be 40. Neymar, 34. The flea that no one could catch is now racing against time itself. Messi has already won it. Ronaldo has never won it. But Messi searches for something rarer, immortality. Another World Cup would place him above the great Diego Maradona. Forever. For one, the final reckoning. For the other, immortality.
My son said, "Dad, you know who's going to be there today?" And I said, "No, I got a lot of things going on." He said, "Messi." I said, "Really?" He's a big fan. He's a big fan of yours. He thinks you're just a great person, and I think you got to meet a little while. So he's a big soccer fan, but he's a tremendous fan of yours. And a gentleman named Ronaldo. Huh?